Okay, here's our last shape. Last shape is a square. And if you thought that the rhombus and the rectangle were special, wait until you see about a square. A square still has four sides, two pairs of parallel lines, so it is still a parallelogram. So let's write that here. Now, the square has four equal sides, just like the rhombus. And it has four 90-degree corner angles, just like the rectangle. And the funny thing about the square is that it has every single property that we've talked about so far. It has all the opposite sides, all the opposite angles, all the consecutive angles, all the diagonals being the same length, all the diagonals being cut in half, all the corner angles getting bisected by the diagonals. It does everything. And so a square is extra, extra, extra special because it has every property for any parallelogram. It has everything. Like if you can think of it for one of the other parallelograms, the square has it. It has everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw some diagonals in this picture. And get my pen back. I'm going to make them all the same length. But the interesting part about the square is that when you bisect the corner angles, you got something kind of interesting going on. Notice that the corner angles are 90, and they're all 90, all four of them, here, 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 and here. So if you cut them in half, they're going to be 45s everywhere. You're going to have a 45 here, a 45 here, a 45 here, a 45 here. I'm just going to keep labeling that. I can only say 45 so many times. And then remember, they also have those 90s here that the rhombus had. The diagonals are also perpendicular to each other, so they form 90-degree angles. So basically, the square is almost the easiest shape because it has everything. There's really no guessing or remembering. It's just every possible property. So when we come back together, we're going to do just a couple of, square problems. And then what you're going to see on the next page, I want to give you kind of like a little sneak preview. We're going to be moving into an ALEKS thing. So we'll be if we have time today, we're going to be summarizing all the properties. And we'll be talking about this little diagram. This little diagram looks very complicated, but we'll be talking about it some more before we talk about what our ALEKS looks like. We're also going to do a little bit of practice just to warm up before we do the ALEKS. And I'll show you what these ALEKS problems tend to look like. The ALEKS problems are a little bit tough because they tend to combine everything into one picture. All right, see you in a couple minutes.